Hello once again, and thank you for tuning in to another MoisTea gaming video. The Western Front is looking good. We have just taken Verdun by force. That was a very good video. The number 24 was the one which featured the heavily fortified bunkers and pillboxes. That is definitely worth a watch if you missed it. Since we've taken that area low, that has freed up 12 cores for us to use by shortening our line, which is definitely needed, seeing as if you have a look at all these stacks that the enemy has compared to ours, you'll see that we are on a bit of a disadvantage. They seem to have more troops all the way along the front. The next logical step to decrease our line is to take whips or eeps or wipers. This will free up another stack of units for us to use and also increase the enemy's line as they have to defend this one as well, giving us a higher concentration of troops along the front, which we can use to our advantage. Technology wise, I want the tanks in this, and I also want to get some chlorine gas or even something a little bit stronger. We can get the chlorine gas first, so let's do that. We're going to have to unlock the high explosives and the concrete pit to get it. Going for the tanks is also something that I really do want. It should also increase the supply that we have available. Let's get the gas first. It will also be nice to have these mortars upgraded. They are very promising from my perspective. Blowing up anybody in a large area, even if they are in the trenches themselves. Personally, I think the best thing you can ever get for defense is one of these. With that out of the way, let's have a look at the line. So the enemy have definitely got more troops down here now, so we're going to have a boost of units down here. Might have to steal these guys. Rest of it I'll have to have a look, but we need to get more troops over by wipers as soon as possible. Hopefully I can wriggle some that we've used on the attack of Verdun to attack wipers. So I want to get the elites in there. They are all locked, unfortunately, at the moment, because they've just moved forwards. At Stalemate, at least, anyway. Look, they're all locked because they're the ones that took Verdun. The Verdun region itself is at a high risk of being attacked, seeing as it only has 1 star as we've just taken it. The enemy have a juicy stack of 14 cores there and 9 right next to it. So we definitely need to make sure Verdun is secure. Bounces is also looking precarious. It has a 14 death stack and a 10 right next to it. We only have 4 infantry cores there. That needs bolstering. Done the best I can with what we've got. Managed to bolster some of this to some degree. This should hold. They do have more units there, but if they attack, then they will be on a huge loss, as per usual when they send waves our way. All of this is manageable, and then we have this up here. I've managed to find enough units up here to actually have a feasible assault. We've got 4 infantries there, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, so 3 elites. Some siege artillery, which I'm yet to really properly use. I've got a few comments saying, why don't you do a siege artillery barrage before the battle begins? Reason I'm not doing that is because that will disconnect their trenches, and I don't want that to happen because it means attacking is even more difficult. If they had a very complex network of more advanced trenches where the heavy artillery would no longer work to the extent that I use it, then it would be worth blowing up those advanced trenches. But the basic ones, I don't think so. I'm going to get more planes in to bolster some of this. It will also increase the supplies in the regions. They give me the option for a harassment plane as well. If they're attacking, they're probably going to be out in the open. Harassment planes rip them to bits. 4 new air wings are now ready on the front line down here. That's very good. I think we now have 1 for each. Apart from here. Well, that could wait till the next one, because I don't think that they're going to be having much luck attacking it from the position that they're in. Could wait till our money goes up slightly. We have 4 over here as well, ready to go. Well, they're not ready to go, but once that's done, we can stick them in undenied. Meaning we can attack Wipers from 2 fronts. That's only if, though, we can get enough troops to actually attack from this section. If we can't spare it, then we'll just send all the planes into Ghent, and then we will have probably 8 air wings there. That's another 800 supply that we will have available, reducing our losses and smashing them to bits. However, it will mean that taking the place itself will take a little longer. Verdun is sufficiently reinforced. We have 10 infantries there. I should be able to hold against any attack they throw at me from this direction with that, as well as 2 air wings. Nothing we can do right now, bar from end the turn, seeing as we are just preparing to attack. Let's see if the enemy launch something against us. Oh, they don't. Interesting. August 1916 now. We now have 2 extra research points as well. What's this? Oh, the silent threat. Blah, 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 blah. Currently hunt on enemy ships. We could unleash them on everything. Ooh. This could be important. Basically, this could increase the chances of America joining the war. I'm going to set it to military only. If America joins the war, it will make my job significantly more difficult, as they will have even more units to play with against a already overwhelming, not overwhelming amount, but they certainly have a lot more available than what we do. The supply would be nice, but right now we don't need it. I'm going to go for military only and see if that affects the Americans joining earlier or later. Attacking civilian ships is just too risky. We could potentially push neutral nations into entering the conflict and overwhelming our already stressed forces, which is pretty much what I already said. Better to allow some enemy supplies to get through than to give other nations an excuse to join the war. Yes, let's see how that happens. Technology, we can't quite get what we want. We need to wait another turn to start getting closer to the chlorine gas and the tanks. Verdun still only has 1 star, so we need to make sure that we keep an eye on that. The enemy have also done a rejig. Oh, they've bolstered Wipers. Just going to have to rebalance the line. The enemy rejig has meant I've managed to scrounge 2 or 3 more units into Ghent. And also, another thing I've decided to do is move all the siege artillery into the only province I'm going to be attacking from the time being, which is here. Which means, when that disappears, which means I will have 4, 5, 6 siege artilleries here. I'm actually going to do a bombardment like people have suggested, just to see how much of an effect that will actually have. I'm not too keen on the idea, but we'll do it anyway. Seeing as I'm going to be doing 3 attacks from here, I'm going to get a field hospital. If I save 200 quid per battle, per star, then that will definitely be worth the money. I could get another further supply depot here, but I'd rather purchase the planes, because then you don't start eating into your global supply. I strongly suspect the enemy are going to attack. I'm going to have to wait 1 more turn before we attack from here, so I can actually use the siege artillery the way that I want to do. So I'll do a full 6 or 7 day bombardment, given I've got all my siege artillery here. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it properly. Got 6 air wings in the region as well, and I also bolstered the one up here. So we've got 1 in every single one, and 6 in the attacking region. They've put 7 cores in Wipers. Let's end the turn and see if they attack. This will probably give them a bit of a playing room to attack, and may end up coming at me quite happily. Ending the turn, and they haven't attacked. Interesting. That isn't what I was expecting. Let's have a look at this event. Local black market. A black market has sprung up in the region offering military gear at a discount. The cost of all items purchased within a tactical battle is reduced. Ooh. The region has set up a... Oh, where? Noyon. Reduced for the duration. This affects supplies to defenders in the region and attackers entering the region. Noyon. Where's Noyon? Oh, here. Oh, so that affects them attacking it as well. Great. So we're going to have to bolster that. One step closer to the chlorine gas. We can get the concrete pit now. Excellent. Next turn we will have it. One thing I am considering is getting this volunteers. This will give us 2 new infantry corps. I'm thinking just to get that so that I can actually get more supply. These 2 corps will be sent to the attacking section of a front. I need 12 to get all these done now for the tanks and the chlorine gas. Which means that's, what, 6 turns? And I've got 1 spare currently, so I might just go for that. Let's do it. They've moved all their units around again. They're all at Rathel, Chateau 3, or whatever that's called. Oh! 11 here and here. Leon is exposed. I've plugged in the hole. Verdun is now more secure. We could even potentially do a sneaky attack on St. Meanhold. Seeing as they've left it with only 3 corps there, we could attack from Voutsers and Verdun. We have a few units around. This would shorten... I wouldn't shorten our line. But it will extend theirs, because they'll have to defend this one. Spreading their units out further. We could do that this turn. I also found the other elite units. I will use them in the next battle, but we certainly have plenty here now. We have 8 infantry, 3 elite, and 6 artillery, siege artillery, 6 air wings. That's got to be enough to take out Wipers now on this turn. Surely. There's going to be loads of supply here. Finally, let's get to it. The game reckons this will be a stalemate. Let's see what we can do about that. That is a lot of supply. Looking at the map, you can see the war's been going on for a few years now. I believe last time we were here was earlier on in the series. Somehow this bridge hasn't been hit, despite all the crater holes right next to it. Lots of trees been blown to bits. There's no foliage on them whatsoever, especially near this middle section. Many of these houses have nearly been hit. Definitely more battleground damage than there previously was before. I think this is a bit of a wider map. The enemy have 2, but they're quite spaced around. And then there is their command trench. See this, we're going to be attacking here for 3 turns in a row, hopefully winning each one. It's certainly going to be interesting how these trenches develop with barbed wire and every other little thing that they can have. They've got a lot of supply. They do have 8 corps here. We don't know if there's going to be any aircraft or anything. With it being such a wide one, we're going to have to stick our artillery right in the middle. I don't know if the light artillery is going to reach. It will a bit. We can still definitely use it. The balloon, however, isn't going to offer much. Looking at this, I'll have to spend 150 just to cover one. To me, that isn't worth it. I'd rather send down 15 artillery barrages on the trenches before we go. Even if you can't see that they're there or not, you're going to guess that they are, surely. I'm going to go with my current standard of a point defense with the 3 lattice and the front line up there. Meaning if they were to take this, they'll have to come back for all of this, which probably isn't going to happen. And I can use the field mortar to destroy anybody who decides to get close to it. Let's do the same over here and in the command trench. I'm not going to use the reinforced mortar nests yet. They cost more money and these mortars are yet to be destroyed, so there's no point spending more money on something for the sake of it. For those that are following, I'm experimenting with the comms trenches again. I'm going to have them stuck right in this bottom corner, which could feed all the way down here and also over here. With the prediction being, if the enemy do decide to somehow take this zone and they decide to have a gander down here, a harassment plane will destroy many things that encroach down here. Absolutely get annihilated. While we retake that by shuffling men back down here with the reinforcement points we have down here and down here. I think that is going to be a pretty sound strategy. Still waiting for the enemy to attack me properly so I can actually test this, but it is what it is. They might go for me when I'm attacking them, which has happened a few times before. Not going to go for any of the advanced trenches. Don't see the point as yet. We're going to have this where the artillery is placed, right in the middle. These are all heavies. These should cover all the areas, and I can bombard them happily. Now, I'm not going to go for the lights because I'll need to mess around, have one over here and one over here. Just have the heavies in the middle with some trench work. This is nothing extravagant, as you can see. I'm going to stick an MG right around there, just in case the enemy do decide to go for this. This is a bit of a weak point for it, I think. One suppression there and it's all going to be a bit done in, but it is what it is. I need the artillery far forwards as I can. Now, I'm going to do something that I don't like doing, which is doing a pre-battle bombardment. This will destroy the trenches at a 23% chance for 5 days at a cost of 450 supply, which is a lot. I don't like doing that. But I'll give it a go. Everyone keeps asking me to do it, saying it's great, so we'll give it a go. I'll go for 5 days and see what happens. What I've done here is I'm going to be launching from X, going up to A, and then working our way around. I can't really see much benefit from going between B or A. They're still just as populated, and no real significant advantages for going either way. So we're going X. Got them ready. I'm going to bring in the elites with raiders on 4 units there with them, and then extra elites once we get in. These are the ones which will hand-to-hand combat in the trenches. I want to get the raiders so that they're not doing that. I want the raiders to run in, run over these, just lobbing grenades in left and right, because that is how you use them properly. Still experimenting with them. Hand-to-hand combat, man for man, they are very good. There's only 25 people in each of these, and they will, on equal par, wipe out a standard infantry unit, which has 225 in it. Which is great, but it's not great for the supply cost, but very good for casualties. So we'll have a go at this experiment and see how we go. Got 4 cores which are going to stay at each of the points as a defense, and if they do decide to attack, we can just run them around here, for example. Bombardment shall begin. Here we go. They are blasting down. Comms trench, comms trench, comms trench. That's not really what I wanted to do. Oh, an allied mortar position. And we destroyed a few trenches, but meh, we'll see. The supply cost, was it worth it though? Those trenches only cost 2 supply to stick in, and we just spent 450 quid on that. But we'll see. I'd send the aircraft in to destroy the balloon, but seeing as we don't have that mission unlocked, we can't. We're going to have to blow it up the old-fashioned way, and then they're going to start sending units over. It's a bit hard to tell which trenches are destroyed or not. Obviously, you can see the large craters, but gonna have to just bomb these a bit on all of them, I suppose, while we do this. Is that balloon still up? No way. It is as well. We'll bombard them a bit before we send the men over. They'll probably send a couple of units if that balloon gets destroyed. I'm gonna have to go for another one on it. Any units in here are not gonna be having a good time. Need this balloon gone. That'll give them good coverage over everywhere. We can keep bombarding this. If I hit most of these trenches with an artillery, anybody that is left in there will only be at roughly half of their strength, unless it's an elite unit, which they will only have a third removed. A few more shells going down over here. Bombarding most of this now. Not sure if that balloon is up just because the fog of war, we can't see it, but it has been blown up. But it does appear to still be there. We're going to send the troops over in a second. I'm hoping once these have been reloaded, we can send more up. I'm going to have to wait actually until... Oh no, we should be okay. These should be empty. Now, as we're running up... Oh, we do need the suppression. Yeah, I'm going to have to wait until they're all ready to go again. The Canadians are here. Canadian infantry retreated. I'm going to have the elites going into the trenches one at a time, and then they should shuffle through while the raiders legit just run across all of it and join the back. I'm not actually going to press them to click into the trench, just at the back of it, simply because the raiders don't need to stop to fire. They're going to just run across and throw lob grenades at anybody in there. If I can protect them sufficiently, we're good. And we're going to follow up with 4 extra elite infantry units to help bolster in the hand-to-hand combat, which hopefully, in theory, shouldn't be much left of, seeing as we should have blown everybody up. Whether this is going to work or not is debatable. Troops are now going. Let's just have a look. They're probably going to send a artillery over as well, which isn't going to be great. I'm going to have to bombard some of this to just suppress it when we get over there. Let's send them over now, actually. I'm going to have to try and do this in a progressive manner. Start blowing these up. Then start blowing these up. Then I've got a few extra. It's an MG there. Start hitting that. I've got one more available. More MGs. Oh, there's a mortar there. I need to stop that from happening. Well, they're perishing. They're done. There's not actually that many people here. Let's send them home. The raiders are quicker than everybody else. They're actually in the trench, which is nice. I have to sort these out. One of the raiders got through. They can take care of some of these at the back. They are getting shot at though. They need to be sent home immediately. Not quite as successful as what I would have hoped. They are thoroughly getting smashed. It was a good theory. Now I just need to eliminate these mortars. They are quite difficult to deal with at the best of times. Those are done. I'm going to send these 4 units up to bolster it quickly, because the enemy will probably try and take this back. Get some Arty on there while we jump over. There we go. Run over the top, lads. Quick as you can. Get some units in this section of the trench would be wonderful. Need to get over there as quickly as possible. They are fanning around a little bit out of the trench for some reason. There are some more units up there. These are now extremely tired. They just need to go home. Get some more units sent this way. We can bombard anybody that's coming from this direction. Thankfully, they're deciding not to be a complete sausage. Need to get more troops up here quickly. These need to just hurry up. Go in column formation, lads. I know it's risky, but you're going to have to do it. I have to send another mortar attack on that, I think. Get these troops over there. They all seem to be having a funny do. Just send those home at that point. These can take care of it. They will be sending men over. I need to be over here. And they're kind of broken. Enemy Arty on the way. Quickly, lads. Do we getting rid of that? I'm presuming it's over here somewhere. Presuming there's some units. Oh, yeah, there are. Send them over. Need to get these over here as quickly as possible. They're a little bit tired now. That doesn't matter. We can just send them all over there. Seem to be having a bit of football going on now in this section. Seems to be happening more and more lately. Gonna start bringing in the reinforcements already for the assault. Cover this section. We need them in these trenches desperately. We can even send these home. They got hammered quite readily. I'm gonna send a plane over, a bombing run. The artillery must be around here somewhere. I can't see it quite there, but we'll go for over here. See what happens. The enemy are still trying to attack us. Can't be having that. We need to get these supported if we can. We're now taking this. The enemy have aircraft. We need to send our own air support in. While we get more units pushed up this section. Once we've taken this, we're going to even reinforce from here, which would definitely help. Have a look, see. Here our planes come. They are attacking our bomber. They are plenty of units in there. We are taking them out. We might lose one though. There's some artillery. Just getting the men into position before we launch an attack. We're going to try the same thing again. It should be more successful seeing as we are now on this side of the trench. Off we go again. Some Arty going down for the initial. Let's try and keep our men alive. With us being on the side, I'm not as concerned about these units floating around over here. More so these along this side. These will be able to shoot us, including here. Let's try and blow them up quickly. Ah, here we go. This is now working more than how I would have liked it to work. Far from these guys over here, we're doing alright. We can move these troops up more, send these raiders further home. The hardest thing is simply getting into the trench. Now with this option, we're doing alright. Send these guys in. These are going to follow through with that as well. Look at this. Not too bad. We'll send these further down. We've got some enemy aircraft approaching. Get rid of them. They're probably... well, there's no balloon for them to go for, but... oh, here we go. They're going to reinforce from this section. We need to get troops into there as fast as possible. That's it. Get them closer before we do that. Just send them over there, actually. Quickly, lads. I don't know how this... oh, it's just the one gun that's shooting them. That's not too bad. We need to get those out of there, actually. And start bombing this section of trench. Get them in. Excellent. This is a destroyed trench. Now, with that, this is one of the downsides of the siege artillery. I'm being bombarded here after I've just taken the trench. I can't go over here to try and just move on. I can go in there, but it means I have to come out of the trench again to come and attack them from another direction, which isn't ideal. Regardless, we're going to keep pushing on. Get in that trench. Keep that flowing. We should be okay. Let's keep going. We're nearly destroying half of these now. We can certainly keep sending artillery their way. Main trench taken. We can move units around. We can do with a harassment plane right now. They're sending everybody over here. You need to get in that trench relatively quickly. You can come out from hiding. Oh, they're under attack already. There are units there. They decided to run over somehow instead of going that way. They're going to try and retake this again. They keep bombarding me. That is not nice. Get more troops in there. Need the harassment plane to arrive already. Not doing bad. We keep bombarding them for the time being. Going from this direction as well. They're going to try and recapture some of this. I need to get some reinforcements in. More are on the way. Hopefully we can do something about them quicker, sooner rather than later. This harassment plane is doing wonders. The ones which are staying still, we can hammer them with more artillery. These aren't going to make it. You need to go up there and take control of that section with them, or they will perish. Just need to send more troops down. You can go in there while these guys can continue taking that trench. And also it means we could potentially keep shooting these once we get down here. They are going to continuously keep sending troops down. Not ideal. We can bombard some of these. You can just run over and take that. I want to be able to shoot these as they're approaching, which means I have to get over here somewhere. I don't know if there's any units in these. Might just have to gamble it and get across. Oh, there's some there. Our plane has gone down. We're going to have to send... Oh, see, this is why I wanted the extra supply, you see. Having the troops is more important than pre-bombarding. It's better value for your money. That is for sure. They are beginning to take the area back a little bit. Our men are deciding to run over the top rather than use the trench work. Might be able to take those guys on now. Probably not with these on the way. What's this? More artillery that they have. More units on the way now. Come on, chaps, hurry up. Your friends need you. Because of this disconnected trench, I can't run along this direction. Just proves the point more. Need to get rid of those. They are thoroughly done. Send both of those right across over there, with one in here and one in there. Hopefully they all use the trench as they should. But more on the way. Certainly a few of them on the way. We can bombard some of this. If we can just capture these areas, we are good. Just need the troops to arrive a little bit quicker. They're getting stuck again on I don't know what. We can keep hitting them. If we could occupy these trenches, we can just shoot them as they keep approaching. That will be ideal. Let's just keep getting them in. These are approaching. Could go for an assault on B from the south. A little bit risky though. I reckon these trenches are heavily occupied. I want to be able to attack them from the side if possible. At the moment though, we're just going to have to wing it. We've pushed that back their forces. They can't have many left. Hopefully not. They keep coming for us. You get over there, please. And if you can run into this trench, that will be ideal. That's it. We're on the way now. They keep sending units over. It's getting quite difficult to click on some of these at times. That's it. Not doing too bad. We can send these home. Get these in the trenches, running around, and finally taking this area. We can get units here. We can start shooting them from that direction, giving our men a rest because they desperately need it. Send those around. More on the way. They're being quite insistent on this area. Just need to shoot them from this direction, and honestly everything will then be good. Enemy keeps sending more and more and more though, making things difficult. You can destroy the rest of those artilleries. Need these guys in. They are now moving. This is what I wanted. Here we go. We're now shooting them from that direction, which would have been a lot easier if we could have just moved across there. But we couldn't. We are now decimating them as they approach. Much better. That is the situation that we wanted. Finally. That is what we needed. See, these overlay over here, going to keep shooting. They will have an arc going that way. Bolster that one with another. Get these over here. You could just go home. You're going to get blown to bits if you carry on. Get these shuffled in. Excellent. We're doing all right now. We've got that. Now we need to start thinking about B. We've got units ready to send over. This is a little bit risky in my opinion. Oh, might just have to wait. Just keep going with what we have currently. Let's keep them occupied. And we'll be all good. I'm hoping these can start shooting some of these in their approach from this direction. These will be able to as well. Now we've finally taken over the area. Gonna have to use standard troops for the time being, just to preserve what we have. Our supply is severely depleted. Yes, it is. Let's just keep going now. We need to think about pushing over here now. They still keep sending units over. Need to make sure that these are kept supplied. We are shooting them. Need to be shooting them a little bit more though. And get those troops in that section. Once these are here as well, will be very much good. In they come. Come on, chaps, please get there in time. If we can double stack this, then they'll be pretty knackered by the time they get in the trench itself. They're doing alright. They are beating each other up thoroughly in there. They are now done. Don't think they'll be sending many more over now. That's got to be it. We can just start consolidating these units. Preparing for the next attack. Oh, they're still sending more over. They're now getting pretty butchered though. That is a good thing. Swap these out actually. Get the men with more troops shooting more readily. Hopefully they will all get murdered by the time they actually get in a good position. This will be costing AI a lot of money to keep sustaining this, especially on the campaign. Once these are in position, we're just going to have to go for it. These are getting a little bit giddy. You're not too sure what's going on, but we're going to have to send them troops over. Some raiders might be nice. I'm going to come at them from both sides to see how this works. This section and down here. These are probably going to be a little bit late. But we shall see. We've got some artillery ready. Hopefully we don't lose too many men. How occupied are these trenches? That is the question. Very occupied by the sounds of things. Oh wow, there are a few of them going about. Very much occupied. Hopefully this will do the trick. Probably not though. This might be our first general loss. Hopefully these will manage to get in without too much further trouble. This was a bit of a gamble. And with the AI doing silly things like what they usually do. Yeah, nah, that didn't work. Might even call a ceasefire on this. This is just too costly. Nope. Not good. That wasn't the way forward. Never mind. You live and learn. You've got to try new things every now and again. Got to cause the ceasefire now. If I had more supply, I would have definitely have won that. I would have had more time to deploy more heavy artillery, more airplanes, better men. Some raiders there would have been nice. But I couldn't do any of that because we used the siege artillery in the beginning. An extra 450 supply there would have been perfect. So that experiment failed. I don't like that. That cost us a lot. It was a major victory, but for me it wasn't. We lost a lot of troops, not half as many as the enemy, but I'm not happy with it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like I just said though, I don't like the siege artillery pre-bombardment. It knocks out the trenches for your connected attack, and the supply cost is extreme. I don't like it. Despite it supposedly being the major victory, I don't feel it was. We got the couple of missions done though, which is quite nice, but that star is still there. That is a waste in my eyes. Gonna leave this one here for now. Please do let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Plenty of people have... Oh, what's going on here? Oh, we're gonna have to change that, aren't we? I must have pressed the wrong button at Mohaj. Yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, as simply that is just not great in my eyes. Having that extra supply would have saved the day. I don't feel like we've got any benefit really from the siege artillery. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.